Welcome to Downtown Music. It's always a privilege for us to present the prize winners of the New York International Piano Competition. These wonderful pianists have shaped our series in so many ways, and our audience looks forward to welcoming new faces and welcoming old friends from year to year. Today, we followed the pianists Esther and Sana Park as they explore the repertoire for piano four hands, which is to say two pianists playing one piano. This is footage from a special concert which Downtown Music created to thank the donors who have inspired us over many years. Following the concert, which was recorded in May of 2019, we'll move on to a brief interview with Melvin Stecker and Norman Horowitz, the two gentlemen who make the New York International Piano Competition possible. They will bring us up to date on where Esther and Sana are today, and let us know how the careers of these two remarkable pianists have progressed since we last met them. Today's program is the first half of a wonderful concert and features music of Beethoven and Mendelssohn. We will continue next Wednesday with part 2, which includes music of Gabriel Fauré and Robert Schumann. Until then, check out our concert calendar at Downtown Music, dtmusic.org, and while there, consider making a donation to help our work. The programs may have gone virtual, but the expenses continue to be very real. Thank you for joining us. Now please welcome Esther and Sana Park. thank you for joining us today. And now we have a very special treat in that we're able to speak with Melvin Stecker and Norman Horowitz, who for many years have been the mastermind behind the New York International Piano Competition. I'm so grateful to have been able to collaborate with the two of you for so many years, and you've really shaped our series and what our audience looks forward to hearing from year to year. And again, just my admiration. So how long is it that we've been doing this together? It's been a long run.
We started together with you, our collaboration in 2000 and let me see, I think it was 2000 and...
It was 15 years ago.
14 years ago.
14 years ago.
14 years, wow.
And we collaborated with you with over 50 concerts in those years.
What a treat.
And I also, at this point, I'd like to thank you and your board for giving young artists and artists of all ages the opportunity to perform. There are very few series in the country that has so many opportunities each year. And this has been a very, very important aspect for our laureates of the New York International Piano Competition, because without performance, they will never grow into artists.
Oh, well, it's been our absolute pleasure to do this, and it's been a pleasure that the caliber of the pianists that you've been able to send us over the years has been so uniformly high. And the great thing too is that they start out brilliantly and then just go from strength to strength going ahead as we watch them grow over the next 2 or 3 seasons. And it's nothing is more fun for me than seeing them come back from time to time, checking in and finding out where they are at the moment. Which really, I guess, brings me to Esther and Sana and how they came to you and what that whole experience has been like.
Well, Esther was one of our first competitors in the first 2 piano competition that we ran in 2002. And she was 17 years of age at that time. And when she came back to you this past year, which the concert that you're going to present, she was 35.
Ah.
And she received her doctorate from Yale and is teaching now at East Tennessee University in Tennessee as a professor there.
Fantastic.
And as far as Sana is concerned, who is, of course, a few years younger than Esther, she was in our competition 2 years following Esther. And then she went on to, of course, Juilliard, and then got her doctorate from Yale.
No, from Peabody.
Oh, from Peabody. She was at Yale first with her master's and then Peabody.
Right.
And she's now, I believe, joining the faculty there.
Such wonderful educations and wonderful institutions. And the neat thing for me is that they've managed to stay in contact with you through all of this teaching and performing and their own careers. And so you've clearly created a relationship with them, which seems just wonderful.
Well, we have now about how many laureates?
198.
198. And that is a great deal of satisfaction, keeping in touch with so many of them and seeing how they have progressed. And our mentoring over the years has been it's been great for us as well as we hope for them.
As a tribute to downtown music, I must say that people like Esther and Sana and all the others that we brought back 1 or 2 times, they always looked forward to coming to Grace Church. There's something about it, although it might be at noon and they have to get up at 6 in the morning to be there, and we drive them up from Manhattan. But there's a certain excitement, and when they come to the church and they see that poster outside pinned to the gate, and there isn't one that hasn't taken a photograph of that poster with their cell phone. It's something they keep for life.
Well, I'm delighted, and we may not be able to present them at Carnegie Hall, but they mean every bit as much to us, in our home venue. So thank you.
You're doing better than Carnegie Hall. Carnegie Hall is closed.
That's true, and we are all adapting to this new way of being in the world, which I hope will not go beyond the next several months. But the great thing is that downtown music, together with the New York International Piano Competition, seems to have been able to create terrific art over the years and continue to do it now, even under these strange circumstances. So that's absolutely fantastic. You know, one of the things I've never had time as part of introducing a concert at White Plains is to ask you a little bit about your careers as a duo piano team touring the country, and also thinking that now with Esther and Sana playing as two pianists at the same piano, it's different from what you did in that you moved two full-size instruments into these halls and played it at separate instruments. And these ladies are playing at the same instrument. So I'm just wondering technically, how does it differ, and how does the repertoire differ, and what do you think?
Well, as a two piano team, we always tried to perform works that were originally written for two pianos by the composer. For example, we did a sonata by Mozart. He only wrote one sonata for two pianos. It was originally written for the two pianos. Or if we did the High Brahms variation, it was written for the two pianos, and also there's an orchestral.
But I think the most interesting thing about that piece, it was written for the two pianos first and then orchestrated.
So we always play the original works.
Right.
Then the one piano, four hands is a repertoire that was written only for the two pianists to sit at one keyboard. So it was one piano, four hands. Ours was two pianos, four hands. And that music, if we played a good amount of one piano, four hand music, and when we did it on tour, we would sit at one piano and play the work, as opposed to you could play them on two pianos too, separated. But we always prefer to do it in the original form. But
right.
basically, we were duo pianists on two pianos.
Right.
It's interesting when you give a concert, which is 2/3 on two pianos, and then all of a sudden, one of us joins the other at one piano. They think something has gone wrong. They think the piano went out of tune, or I didn't like the piano, or whatever it was, until we explained it at the end of the evening, when people wonder what happened.
A perfect example of what Norman just said was we played a concert in Nanaimo, it was the island off Vancouver.
Wow.
And our truck had a breakdown on the Hope Princeton Highway. So when we got on the ferry going across, our truck wasn't there. We called the sponsor and told them that the truck had an accident and what can they do to get the two pianos. So they had one concert grand, a 9-footer, I don't remember what make it was, in the hall. And they went out to, I think,
Eaton's department store in Canada.
And they rented a small they got
a 5'1",
a 5'1", and they put it together with the big concert grand. And Norman, it was so ridiculous that Norman found the night before they had some kind of a dance, I think, there.
I found a huge bouquet of flowers, and I put it in the break where the two pianos joined, so they couldn't see where one began and one ended, so it wouldn't look ridiculous. There's such a big piano and such a little piano.
But then we opened the second half with a Schubert fantasy written for one piano, four hands, and we both sat at that piano.
The larger piano.
I was sitting at the larger piano the first half. Right. And when Norman came over to join me at the big piano for the one piano, four hands, the audience went wild. They were laughing and laughing. We didn't realize until at the reception, they thought that Norman was getting tired of sitting at the small piano, so he joined me at the bigger piano.
I love it. And when you joined him at the bigger piano, just in looking at these gals playing on the footage of this concert today, I mean, there's such coordination between who's, reaching where for what at what time, and they don't run into each other, and the gestures are very musical, but they've got to have all been rehearsed out along with every bit of the music. In
deference to the two sisters, I must say they're extraordinary. Insofar as their training has been absolutely superb, and they must have done this since infancy as playing together. And I would say of all the piano duettists or two people who play one piano, I would say Esther and Sana are probably the epitome of what I would consider beautiful playing.
And what's also remarkable about them is they each have had a very good solo solo
and
performances and career, and they starting and won many competitions for the one piano, four hands, and two pianos. So they really have a great career going as both soloists and as duo pianists or one piano, four hands.
They're not limiting themselves only as piano duettists or one piano, four hands. They're each pursuing solo careers as well.
Right, and I know that you have some footage of them playing as solo pianists as well. So maybe a wonderful thing coming up might be to share some of that with our audience, because I'm sure that they would love to hear that too. And sooner than that, I know that you will be back with us on December 2nd when Yulon Jai plays a Mozart Concerto, and she's playing with members of the Metropolitan Opera Orchestra, including our late board member, Vince Leonti. And this was a wonderful program which you created for us last November. And I don't think anyone has ever seen the film of this before. So it will be great to share that with you and our audience on November 2nd. I hope you'll be back next week for part 2 of Esther and Sana's concert. And then again for a special program with the great Tom Chapin on October 28th. The Tom Chapin program will be curated by Bob Sherman, who is an old friend of mine, and I know of Melvin and Norman's as well. And I think you and I and all of us will be delighted to know that Bob is going to introduce our concerts on a regular basis going ahead, and then provide a recap after the concert has taken place. So he's going to bring all of his years of radio broadcasting experience to this new format that we're all working with. And I'm totally looking forward to that. Until then, please check out our concert calendar, dtmusic.org. And while there, consider making a donation because while our programs have gone virtual, our expenses are still very real. And while you're exploring the internet, please also check out the New York International Piano Competition. That's NYIPC.org. Or you can just Google the New York International Piano Competition. They have a fascinating website. There's music there, everything to look into, and you can have a lot of good time just watching and learning about this wonderful organization. So thank you, Melvin and Norman, for joining us today, and for 15 years of wonderful collaboration, and I'm looking forward to lots more.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tim.
Thank you. Bye-bye.